Hello, my name is Michael Angelo Caruso, and I'm going to help you become a better speaker for the rest of your life. I don't think there's a skill in business today that's more important than the ability to stand in front of a room, whether it's a large group of people, a small group of people like your department at work, or even a one-on-one scenario, and inform, motivate, inspire, and get people to take action. And the secret to this is to be authentic, because when you're authentic, you're believable. And when you're believable, you're presenting in a credible way that gets people to see exactly what you want them to do, and they follow through. It's so important to have that gift of being natural in front of the room. And it's hard to be natural when you're speaking if you're nervous. So we'll help you with nerves. We'll help you with the three main components of a speech or a presentation: the beginning, the middle, and the end. As we proceed through this sample video, I'll do a demo of my techniques from each section so that you can see what kind of content you'll receive during this course. The beginning of a presentation, of course, your job is to gain attention and to capture people's imagination. And you do this by getting them to do a bunch of small things now so they do a big thing for you later. The small things can include nodding their head, writing something down, or saying something, right? And when you get people to do this, they start to follow you. They start to understand. They start to activate, which is really important when you're giving a presentation. You also want to use the first part of the presentation to teach the audience something they don't know. I do this sometimes using a statistic. Because I teach presentation skills, I teach in the English language, I tease the audience about the fact that they don't know how many words there are in the English language. I ask, how many words are there in English? How many words? How many words? People guess, but they don't know. Finally, I tell them how many words there are, about 500,000 if you don't count verb conjugations and gerunds. And what happens in that moment is they learn two things. They learn, I know some things they don't know. That's going to serve me well later toward the call to action. And they also learned how many words there are in their English language, 500,000. And all of this happens in the first section of the presentation. Very, very cool, very important. The middle section of the presentation is when two things happen that are more challenging than you might think. The first that you have to really keep an eye on is the only unscripted portion of your presentation. It's called the Q&A segment. And there are sand traps all over the Q&A segment. And I will show you how to navigate those sand traps and make it through the presentation as if it was the most natural thing in the world for you. Also, in the middle of the presentation is when people lose interest. And so I will show you how to capture their attention and keep it captured, man. You will never let them go because of these techniques that I'm going to show you, including nonverbal communication, right? The ability to marry what you do with what you say. This is called congruency. And it's not easy for most people, but I can show you the techniques to master it, and you'll be so good at this when we're finished with this course. The third section of the presentation, of course, is the ending, and this is when we deliver what's called the call to action, or the CTA. And there are a couple ways to get this done in grand fashion. One of them is to use what's called a positive adjective like thrilling, exceptional, unforgettable, right? These are emotional words, and they get people stirred up, right? And they'll really help you as you deliver your call to action. The second thing you want to be sure to do when you deliver the call to action is that you want to be very specific about what you want the audience to do, because the more specific you are with your ask, the more likely the audience is likely to do what you want them to do. So after the presentation, I'll show you how to keep in touch with your people. I'll also show you how you can get more speaking engagements if you care to. My name is Michael Angelo Caruso. I promise you'll never forget the content in this course. It will make you a better speaker for the rest of your life. The content has been pre-tested and vetted all over the world. I've delivered this content for 2 decades now on 5 continents in 49 of the 50 states. And I can't wait to get started with you. We'll see you on the other side.